Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be here with you again this month. Let's jump right in. So, the topic that I want to discuss this month is who is your authentic self? I come across this term a lot in my line of work as a clinical hypnotherapist. Clients will often say to me that I want to become my authentic self. And what I've come to realize is that this means something different to everyone. So in my curiosity, I looked up the Webster's dictionary meaning, and it said, to live in accordance with one's own beliefs and values rather than those of others. Which makes sense, right? In other words, to be uniquely you, living by your own beliefs. But the question that I want to ask you is, are your own beliefs about you authentic? This is where it becomes very nuanced. What if your beliefs from your past state that you weren't loved enough, or cared for enough, or seen, or valued, or safe? What if those beliefs are still being held dominant? Right? If you've not dealt with those silent beliefs, and they're silent because they're running unconsciously, this is because your subconscious mind is holding them dominant. If you experienced emotional pain, it registers that, prioritizes that. Why? Because its job is to keep you alive and to keep you safe and to govern your body. So it's now going to prioritize that, hold that dominant, and weigh everything against that. In essence, always being on guard to make sure that you never experience that feeling again. So that turns into sabotage. So being on guard means I don't take those risks, or you don't go for that promotion. You don't believe you're capable. You don't start that business, or ask that person out, or tell that person how you truly feel in a vulnerable way. And are you living authentically? But authentically isn't getting you anywhere near where you want to truly be. Because in essence, you are living authentically, but you're living authentically to those limiting beliefs, to that past pain and the protection of it. And so there's this internal conflict that says, there's a part of me that knows I want more, I'm meant for more, there's a bigger path ahead for me. And yet every time I try to consider it or step into it or move towards it, procrastination comes in and I shut the whole thing down. That's a coping mechanism. Or I get scared and I freeze. Or the voice in my head starts to tell me all the reasons why that can't work for me. So you see, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between past pain and present fear of that same pain. There's no o'clock in the subconscious mind. There's no time. There's only now. And each now moment. So if you're not living your life in a way that you love, chances are that your silent past is running your life right now. And you feel like there's nothing you can do about it because it feels like that's how it is. It feels like that's what's true. But deep down, somewhere inside of you knows this isn't true. There's an innate intelligence, right? The subconscious mind isn't just a function of your brain. There is a field of consciousness, and it's part of that field. And that consciousness is never going to be in agreement with you when you say that you're not capable, or that you're not smart, or that you're not lovable, or that you'll be single forever, or that you'll never be successful, or whatever it is that you tell yourself that you can't have. There's a part of you inside that knows that's not true. And that's actually why it feels so bad. Right? Our subconscious mind is also the seat of our emotion. It's where all of our memories are stored. Every single memory we've ever had. Can you imagine how intricate that filing system is? And the moment we start to feel badly about something we want that we don't believe that we can have, that feeling is telling us that's a subconscious communication. And it's because there's a conflict, because there is an innate part of you that says that is not who you are, and you can have everything that you want. But you've got to believe it. And so we get this sort of jumbled up. We think, I want to live authentically, which means I want all the things that I want, and I want to feel good about myself. That's what I want. I want to love myself. I want to love my life. That's what we all want. But what we truly believe at the subconscious level, if we're not doing that, if we're not experiencing that, then we've got programming to clean up. That part of us, that innate intelligence or your divine intelligence, that part that's bigger than you, right? That's higher self, that conscious part that's connected to that universe and all of its wonder and perfection that keeps planets spinning in orbit and gravity. And that part is never going to look upon you, flow energy to you, and say, you're right, you're not smart enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not capable enough, right? So we have to really investigate and contemplate the things that we tell ourselves, because truly this is the real reason behind the desire to live authentically in the first place. The world isn't the reason for you not being able to have or be or do any of the things that you want. That's just your brain's way of making you right. It will always spin a story to make you right. That's why in every argument, have you noticed? Your version is skewed or angled just a bit more towards you than the other person, and their version is skewed just a bit more towards them. That's our incredible brains. Your brain will always show you the evidence of what you believe to be true about yourself and about the world. So instead, if we looked at this reflection of our life, and instead of making it a self-judgment about us and our capability and our worth, what if we were able to become so emotionally mature and resilient and intelligent, we could look at it basically just showing us how we're doing and where we need to tweak things. Because we are story-making machines. And we are meaning-making machines to those stories. So not only do we tell ourselves a story of why we can't have it, there is a meaning behind that about us that's personal. And it's those two things that conflict with our idealism of living an authentic life. So we tell a story in a way that's a bit curated towards us being right and justified for why we can't have what we want, while we also feel terrible deep down inside because part of us knows what we're telling ourselves is not true. Not to the universe, not true to our divine innate intelligence within us. And this very conflict has us say, I want to live my authentic life as my authentic self. So really when we say this, what we're actually saying is, I know there's more for me, but I am scared. I am terrified. I can't find it. I feel it, but I tell myself all the reasons why things don't work for me. And I'm terrified that if I try and fail, this story in my head will be true. That past pain will have been true. That I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, I'm not lovable. And fill in the blank. So what happens is it's more soothing to blame others and the world and play small and stay safe, avoiding that fear of pain. Because the subconscious mind doesn't know that that's in the past. Anytime we get anywhere near that same feeling, that same risk factor, it's going to associate it in a millisecond, and it's happening right now in real time. So we're going to do that until it isn't soothing anymore. Those coping mechanisms start to really get in our way and sabotage us. We get older, and hopefully we become much more resilient and much more emotionally intelligent. And the fear of not fulfilling our purpose, having meaning to our life that feels so good to us, that becomes more intense than our fear of emotional pain. And that's when things start to change. That's when people come looking for me. Living authentically actually means that I've got to clean up my past and make my beliefs congruent with what my innate intelligence within me knows to be true about me. That's the work. And as soon as we start to do that, at first all the fears come up. What if? What if I'm really not good enough? What if I fail? What if? And then, as we collapse them, The programming that says, right, be careful. Remember when dad said, what's wrong with you? We don't want to hear that and feel that again. Remember when mom said, why can't you just behave? We don't want to feel rejected by her or anyone ever again. Remember in school when you didn't fit in? We don't want to go for that bigger life and risk that criticism again. And when we reorganize the subconscious and teach it what we want, we can also reorganize all of those what ifs. What if you succeed? What if the world needs exactly what you uniquely offer? What if the idea becomes the best thing that you have ever done for yourself? What if that nudge is a guiding light for you? And yeah, we're not perfect. We're going to fall on our bums sometimes. But we don't have to beat ourselves up for that. That's part of learning. That's not part of our worth or value. That does not equate to our value. I recently went to see the movie Saturday Night that's just come out in the theaters. And I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but there's a big television show in the US called Saturday Night Live. And it is almost about to celebrate its 50th anniversary. And this movie was based on the first 90 minutes before that very first show went to live air. And it was so good. And I'm not going to ruin the plot here because it's really worth seeing, but especially if you're a fan of the show. But imagine if someone like Lorne Michaels, the creator of the show, never believed in it. Imagine if he never believed that he could create this live show with a group of completely unknown 20-somethings that he thought had talent on a major television network and bring something so new and fresh and invigorating to the public. Imagine the last 50 years of this iconic show would never have existed. But he followed that inner guiding light, and he had struggles all along the way. But he followed that innate intelligence. And even when everything said, this isn't going to work, even when they told him some information that was astounding to learn in the film. And as I was sitting watching and contemplating it at the same time, and then contemplating it later when I came home, I really had so many of these recollections of these what-if moments in my own life that turned into extraordinary experiences. That they become almost like following a path your innate intelligence lays out for you. You develop this relationship, this really powerful relationship between you and you, right? Bigger you. That part that can see the road ahead and knows where you want to go and orchestrates it perfectly for you to follow. Remember, your brain is your ally. Your subconscious mind is the mechanism that we project from. So we've got to clean up that terrain because the mechanism is extraordinary and it will prove you right and it will move all the pieces around to align what it is that you believe. So what you believe becomes the foundation of the entire process of living that authentic life that you're after, of that love and of that excitement and hope and beauty and unity and all of it. Because at that point, then your beliefs are all on board. And you know what happens? You start to expect it. This is the magic of being human, in my opinion. When you understand how your mind works for you and you take responsibility for it without it being anything to do with self-judgment, then you start to have an extraordinary experience. This, in my opinion, is the actual magic of what we call authenticity. And the most important part is it's already built inside of you, right? It's already working. It's already powerful. It's just working to guide you to more of what you don't want, because those are your stronger beliefs. Your brain doesn't judge you. Your subconscious mind doesn't ever analyze you, recognize reality from imagination, or deem you worthy or unworthy. It simply carries out instructions impressed upon it. We truly are our own reality-making machines. And you're already extraordinary. But you've just got to clean up that terrain in a way that's right for you. This is where the custom work really shines, because we might have similar beliefs, but we had completely different experiences. And so when you deal with them in a way specifically for your past, not a generalized way that everybody can relate to, but yours, this is so key, and it's why the results come over time. And so for the next month, what I'd like you to consider is this question: what would really make you happy? And please try not to make it about others. I would be happy if this person did this or loved me or treated me differently. That's just trying to control others' behavior and control the narrative. We don't do that. That would sound more like, I would be so happy if I woke up every day feeling loved, feeling healthy in my body, knowing my worth, and experiencing kindness and love with others. And then start to do one thing, just one small thing every day, one small thing every day where you give that to yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Maybe that one thing is to catch yourself when you're speaking negatively, judging yourself, being mean to yourself, because we are so hard on ourselves. And instead say, I love you. You really are a miracle. You don't realize it, but you are. The fact that you're here, the odds that it's you, made up with your specific genes and DNA, if you really truly understood how extraordinary it was that that made you, specifically you, and there's no other you in that blueprint on this planet. And if you're not confident in how to do that, you can access a free audio download on my website at any time. That's at megadamsonhypnotherapy.com. You just put your name and email in at the bottom and it'll automatically send it to you. This is all about how to relieve stress in your life specifically. It's about 25 minutes long. And there's another resource that I've just made available, and it's under the menu, under shop, and then master courses, and it's called How to Achieve Any Goal, and it's completely free of charge. These can really get you started reprogramming your subconscious mind, because that is where all the magic lies. And then you can start taking inspired action steps because you start to feel better. And when you're doing that, you're rebuilding that relationship between you and you. I'm launching a new event coming in January. That's also on the website that you can read about. But I want to thank you for this beautiful time with you. Thank you for investing in yourself by spending time watching the program, watching the videos, contemplating your own life, wanting more, being willing to do the work. You are more rare than you realize. You are more rare than a lot of the general population, and I want you to really own that. Thank you for being who you are, for being here. Thank you for listening to this segment and for inviting me into your home and being so welcoming and so warm. I'm honored. Be well. Live fully. And I'll see you next month.